Well, hello, IDS 105 students, and welcome to What is Due here in week 3. Thank you so much for joining this very quick focus video that walks you through where to find things for Module 3, week 3, and what is due. So as always, you can locate your assignments from week to week by being inside your learn.sna2.edu Brightspace classroom. Click on course menu. When you click on course menu, go to learning modules and it'll pull up the information that you need. Remember, all the modules are listed week 1 through week 8 on the left-hand side. We are currently focusing in on module 3. When you click on module 3, you want to make sure that, as always, you review the entire introduction. So click the blue, gets you where you want to go. Click on the introduction. It'll give you an overview and learning objectives for week 3, module 3. Make sure you scroll down and click through the module. Don't forget that there is a lot of reading and content that'll help you understand and apply the concepts from week to week actually within your module. So you want to make sure you review that reading in addition to any of your required resources. So as always, you can find your required resources within the module. It'll give you any textbook readings or helpful videos or any other kinds of readings that it might want you to review for your success in answering your assignments. This week in week 3, you have a discussion assignment that is centered around cultural fluency. You will be answering the following questions. Question 1, what are some ways that your knowledge of cultural fluency can benefit your self-awareness? And then question 2 has a couple of parts. So question 2 is, in what kinds of situations could you use your knowledge of cultural fluency and self-awareness? So for example, different cultures have different concepts of time and time management. So how could cultural fluency and self-awareness help you navigate situations where you or a friend, a colleague, or an instructor, or even a loved one view time or time management differently? That's an example of that assignment. As always, your initial discussion post is due by Thursday with a minimum of 2 responses to classmates by Sunday of week 3. If you want to work earlier in the week on those or submit more than 2 responses to your classmates, that is completely fine. Do as convenient as what works conveniently for you. Just remember, with those peer responses, a couple of sentences is not going to cut it. Okay, y'all? You want to make sure that you're asking your peers questions, maybe sharing some common experiences you might have, really taking your time and not just giving a quick, hey, that's a great thought. Okay. So again, initial discussion post due on Thursday, and then your minimum of 2 responses due by Sunday or earlier. So that is your discussion assignment. The next assignment that you have for your week 3, module 3 is your second project draft. So remember, last week in module 2, you picked a scenario that you'll be focusing in on and using for your project drafts as you submit them from week to week here in this IDS 105 class. So you're utilizing that same scenario. Make sure you click on guidelines and rubric, because as always, y'all, it'll go over the assignment and it'll walk you through the directions. Make sure you're paying attention to which questions you are supposed to be answering for this week, because you only have 2 that you are answering, okay? As a reminder, you can find the project template underneath what to submit. When you click the blue, it opens up that Microsoft Word document that looks a little bit like this. Now keep in mind, yours will not have the highlights. Last week in module 2, you should have picked your scenario and listed it. Remember, you don't do anything with the conflicts until module 5. When you know what conflict you want to use, then you can put that up there too. But last week, you should have answered the questions in module 2 as part of part 1. Okay. This week for module 3, your assignment work is going to be underneath part 2. However, please notice that you will have only 2 questions that need to be answered in module 3. The other questions are for next week in module 4. So you are only answering using your scenario and your own experiences and what you've learned in this class so far. You are going to be describing how you would demonstrate cultural fluency in the scenario you picked. And then you're going to be describing how cultural fluency benefits your self-awareness. Okay, those are the 2 questions that you are answering for your week 3, module 3 project draft. As a reminder, if you need to kind of a refresher about your scenario, click on this scenario profiles. Click the blue, gets you where you want to go, and it'll pull up the big document that gives you kind of all the pieces and parts of each scenario. Okay, so those are the 2 assignments that you have for your week 3, module 3 in your IDS 105 class. You're going to be amazing. Make your SNHU study time, get your homework done. If you get stuck or have questions, reach out to your instructor. You got this. Have a great week 3.